Hey, how's it going? Um, I'm here to quickly catch up and do assignment 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I am going to explain the three favorite games and support why I think the genres that I picked fit them, and to just explain what makes this a game, and things like that. So first up, I will pick. Just quickly, I'm a little messed up this morning. I need some more coffee, or just I had too much coffee. So, uh, Dishonored is my third favorite game, and the reason for that is it's just a fun, really fun. I think I mentioned this before in one of my last videos, but it's just it has it's a creative world that I've never seen before in a video game, and actually does things with the whole. You actually have a reason to, if you want to, you actually have an outcome if you want to do good things or bad deeds and kill all the people you come across, or kill zero people. There's always a new ending, and it's definitely has some great replay value. But what I think the game fits in this genre wise and ideology wise is may have said that wrong, but anyways, it definitely fits in the whole shoot 'em up and strategy game. The reason I consider it a shoot 'em up is obviously it's a first person game, but you only have like really one gun and a crossbow considered guns, and everything else is either you have like a sword or a knife that pops out, and everything else is you have supernatural powers, like you can summon rats, eat people, or teleport over buildings, or teleport towards an enemy and stab them in the face. But yeah, there's not, and you're usually very strong compared to everybody else because you're a supernatural hunter, and you can basically destroy any enemy you come across. You just have to, be smart about how to go through a battle and pick your fights well. I mean, you can even choose not to fight anybody and just avoid them completely, which is also very cool. And it's kind of nice to go through a level without having to kill a single person, and it feels awesome not to be noticed or watched at all, which I think goes in the whole system of feedback, is that depends on how you play through the game, you can get a different ending, and that's always cool. I mean, also, you can tell earlier on how you play, like in the beginning, if you kill everyone you come across, there'll be posters of your face, of a masked face that you have on, and if you don't, but if you replay the game again and you don't kill anybody, it's just gonna have like this mystery symbol on the wanted posters of who is this guy. I mean, earlier on, it's already showing, hey, this is, it's already showing how where you're going. Like if you're going to be uh, not killing anybody, it already figures out that, oh, you're gonna go do you're gonna be, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean. But and also it's a, like I said, strategy game, so first person shoot 'em up. And is there anything else it might fit into? Not really, but I think that's kind of it. And also the rules of the game, I guess, is just to get through an area, either destroying enemies or not to. And I guess overall, but the overall objective or goal is to uh, save the princess of an empire, and to bring justice to the people that betrayed you and murdered your lover. So that's also a key thing in the game, and it just kind of affects how you want to go about it. And that's pretty much it on this game. And then the next one that I really like is Skyrim. Obviously, for most reasons, it's a fun, amazing game. But genre-wise, where it fits, I believe it fits in the whole adventure game, role-playing, and even shoot 'em up. And the adventure and the role-playing speaks for itself, because you can go into different dungeons and rooms and collect keys or different items and go about different places. And also for the role-playing, you can build up stats, choose what sex, race, or job, as in warrior or mage or whatever, and it has that, but as a shoot 'em up, because you can actually go through areas and completely just kill everybody if you wanted to. I mean, I'm good enough right now where I can take out at least half a dozen people with just my bow and arrow without being seen, and then maybe a few characters will have to fight hand to hand, but take out fairly fast at the same amount of time. So you can get through. You have like a lot of items, potions, and shouts, spells, whatever. Basically, you have a huge arsenal of stuff to take out everybody. I mean, anything that you come across. And I guess I could also put it as a strategy game because there's certain uh, enemies or creatures that are resistant to some things but not to others, or can get killed a lot faster by certain spells or items. And there's definitely lots of reasons to have a lot of things in this game and go back quite quickly. And the overall goal or objective of the game, it's kind of, I don't know, a little iffy. I mean, the main quest, you're just trying to destroy the Dragon Menace and save Skyrim and all of Tamriel in general from this threat, but I don't know, it's not really dire. I mean, you can always come back to it, to the main quest, and just continue on playing all the minor quests, which are, all over the place. So there's no rush or hurry to go through it. And you don't. I mean, there are moments where you're just like, probably you'll never even get to the main quest until you're level 10 or 15, just because you were too busy going through Skyrim. Like, oh, look at all of this place. This is amazing. And, yeah, that's kind of it for the goal part. And for rules, I don't know. There's really no. I mean, I guess you're just supposed to do. You can do whatever you want in this huge area, in this huge kingdom of Skyrim, but you can't really go out of it. And I guess the rules are just, really are no rules. I mean, you can do it whatever you want, whenever you want, and within the game, anyways. And I guess there's not really any penalties. Just maybe have people come after you, get a bounty on your head if you kill too many people, which kind of sucks. But otherwise, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, you can even work to that. You can even get a trophy or something for having a certain amount of money on your bounty, like 10,000 or 100,000. I don't remember what it was, but you don't have to. It's not that big of a deal. Just sucks if you get caught. And as for a system of feedback, you level up, so you definitely want to keep doing that. There's a reason to play besides going through an area or just going through and looking at things and collecting stuff. You get leveled up, you get stronger, you collect shouts, which is always does different things, and that's always useful. And yeah, depending on whether you want to be like you're trying to reach to be a mage or a warrior or something in between, or even a rogue type character, and you're trying to level up and gain stats in that particular job or branch. And I guess that could be also part of the goal. Is to main objective is to, besides saving Skyrim, is to also have the best, most amazing character ever, and that's always fun to do. Is to get stronger and be able to do all these things you never thought you could do, like have bigger, stronger spells, or being able to take down enemies in mere seconds with just using a sword or a dagger, because they're so strong with one-handed weapons or two-handed swords or something. But yeah, you could definitely do a lot of cool things in that game that gives you a reason to play and a reason to keep going. There's multiple different reasons why you should play it, and you should get at it. Yeah, my number one game that I am really that I wanted to bring up, and is the reason why I didn't do this video as soon as it was supposed to be due, was because I wanted to play it and give a reason why you should play it, and that would be BioShock Infinite. Now, I love the first one a lot, but I decided not to put it up here because it just would have been, I don't know, kind of too much to have maybe a fourth or fifth game, since you just wanted 3. So I'm just going to include Bioshock Infinite, and I would include it as a shoot 'em up, adventure, catching, or maybe not catching, but more of like a chase game, and an escape game, and even a survival horror. The reason the shoot 'em up and the adventure are kind of obvious because you're, shoot 'em up, you're shooting people with guns and vigors, which are these different powers you can get that could, throw fire bombs or summon crows or, you know, basically demolish enemies in different ways. And that's always fun. There's also a lot more guns in this game than in the original. There's like almost 20, I'd say. Almost 20 different guns. And so there's that aspect, and the enemies you fight are usually not as weak. And I guess also a strategy game too, because there's different enemies that require you to defeat them in a different way, like a fireman, which is basically a guy who uses fire salts, but you have to, quickly destroy him with using a different salt or powerful guns. And then there's this giant automation that you have to, shoot him from behind because he has these gears which are vulnerable and they hurt him a lot more. And you can, quickly use a shock vault or shock assault on him, and then quickly get behind him and shoot him. And there's that sort of aspect of the game is strategy, and an adventure game because there are certain doors and rooms where you can go into, and there are areas you do go back to. You have to go back to after you go through this one objective. You can go back and to this one locked door, and if you collect enough lock picks, your the non-playable companion Elizabeth can open them for you. So there's another reason to go around collecting things and catch and gaining more items and building up your health, your amount of salt you can use, and the shield, which basically helps you from dying faster, from not dying faster anyways. And the reason I would also consider it a chase game, and what else I decided it was going to be also a chase game, and there's too many genres here. Anyways, the reason I would consider it a chase and also a horror game is because once in a while you have to chase Elizabeth down. Like, you're trying to get her in the tower, then you have to, one time she, gets away from you, but then there's several times where she gets captured again and you have to save her. So there's different moments where you have to chase or catch her and bring her back, and those are different moments in the game where it's kind of like almost the whole the princess is another castle moment, like from the Mario games, where you have to go to one area thinking you're going to save her, pick up something, and it turns out, oh, sorry, it's over there, you have to go there now, wasted your time, sorry, go that way. And that just kind of gets a little annoying, but the game is, the world and the gameplay is too much fun and too cool that it doesn't really matter. And as a horror, I would consider it a horror game because, like the first one, there are moments where it's just gruesome and, just crazy how they actually would go super far. Like this first moment, which, like the very first part in the game where it's raining, you're out in the ocean, you're about to go to a lighthouse. Much like in the first game, there's a lighthouse, but this one, is closer to land, and you go up, and it's dark, and the radio's on, and then you come across, drops of blood on the floor, and then you eventually go up to the third floor of the lighthouse, and there's this dead body with a bullet hole in its head, and yeah, it's pretty messed up. And then you go farther on, like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes later on in the game, depending on how fast you play and how you want to take your time. Maybe even a half hour long. Anyways, there's this moment where you are in this raffle contest and you win this, and you're the winner, and you have this specific, and you get this ball and you have to chuck it, and you're forced to chuck it at this interracial couple, a black woman and a white guy. And the reason for that is because you're in this, this really racist religious community high up in the sky, and it's just so extreme. It's basically as if the Tea Partiers had their way and had their own city in the sky. This would be it. And you have to, this moment where and it's just, horrifying almost to think that this bright, happy city does stuff like this. I mean, it's really the exact opposite of BioShock, where everything was dark and creepy to begin with. But this is just, I mean, these people aren't junkies or, had too much Adam or anything. These people are just, brainwashed, and stuff like that's real too, when there are lots of people the world in the real world that are, really crazy without having to take any drugs or any real actual mental issues, that just been brainwashed and become racists or these evil pieces of crap, basically. And there's a lot of moments like that in the game where it's just, almost offensive but necessary, since it helps tell the story and it gives you a reason to actually want to hurt these guys. And but yeah, it's definitely lots of different. I mean, it's like real horror almost. I mean, this is the type of horror that you could find outside somewhere. You can like go to a different part of this town and find stuff like this. It's pretty scary stuff. And the main goal and objective of this game, I would say, is to, get the girl, wipe away the debt, which is what this common quote that comes up a lot of times in the game. And you basically play a character that's been through rough times, owes money to a lot of dangerous people, and has to, it must be really dangerous, otherwise he wouldn't be going to a city in the sky just to get a girl. And but yeah, you kind of have the objective changes several times, because you have to save the girl once in a while because she runs away and gets captured, and then you have to also the objective changes all the time, so you have to either go to get the girl, get her back, chase her down, or stop or destroy the city before it does something awful. And you just kind of different objectives come up as the story progresses, which is what makes this game cool, because it's not, I guess Dishonored is kind of, I wouldn't say it's disappointing, but the objective in that game almost changes, but you do have to still save the young princess all the time, and then there's also moments where you have to, get revenge on these people, and then you have to get these other guys that betrayed you later on. But the objective changes all the time, so it's never the same. And the rules, kind of similar to the other games I talked about. There's really aren't any, penalties for doing what you do, except in a way there is, because if you go into, for instance, there's an area with people, and there are moments where you can cause a confrontation, but you don't have to or need to, because you just would waste time, health, ammunition, items, whatever. And there's some penalties for that, but you can just, most of the time there are areas where you just have to fight and get through it. And then as a system for feedback, I guess you're just discovering new areas and finding items, or just things that could help you get you stronger and become a better character. There's that, I guess. And it's fairly simple in that regard, but the objective or goal is the thing that's kind of iffy, because it always changes throughout the game. And it's just fairly simple that way, but it's a great game, great story, and I won't spoil too much for you, but it just changes all the time, so it's always fresh. And that'll be it. So have a good one.